What is the meaning of Makigami? Makigami is a Japanese word for roll of paper. This is actually a good explanation of the start of the whole Makigami analysis. The whole optimized process is reproduced on a roll of paper, or like nowadays in Excel. The Makigami analysis is an instrument of lean management. Lean management is an umbrella term for mindsets, methods and procedures that serve an efficient arrangement of business processes. It's qualified for visualization and analysis of processes of any kind. The main goal is to eliminate waste at administrative processes. What is the approach of the Makigami analysis? At first there's one question. What is the actual state? An analysis and documentation of the actual state or a rough planning of the process is necessary. What contains our vision? How should the process look like? This is the second question you have to ask yourself while you are working on the target state. Afterwards, a transformation schedule is needed that conduces the reaching of the target state. The schedule considers the important steps into the right direction. As you can imagine, this process is full of challenges. The target state contains the following points: a short lead time, transparency in all processes, a high customer satisfaction. Now we have enough knowledge about the elementary laws of the Makigami analysis. Therefore, we can look at the different steps in detail. On the first step, it is important to make clear where the boundaries of the processes are. It is also important to know the team members. It's helpful to choose co-workers who know the problems and the required time. The general requirements of the process creation and optimization, the time relation to the process quality, production costs, and the service level has to be clear as well. As a second step, the Makigami process map will be mapped. It has to be distinguished between an already existing process or a new one. If the process already exists, the mapping of the current state is necessary. A new process has to be subdivided into part processes and activities. This is the point where the mentioned chart comes to use. Before it is filled with information, it's important to understand its composition. This is how the Makigami process map looks like in its primitive state. There are all part processes in a smart chronological order on the horizontal. On the vertical, the part processes will be related to the persons or departments. As we will see later, interfaces are created by this correlation. The right column contains the summations. Here will be documented how many transfers or rather information transfers exist, but also how many documents and data carrier are used. If this is done, we'll continue with the time data. The time data will be measured if there is an already existing process. Otherwise, experts will estimate the time. Therefore, it is important to choose coworkers that are familiar with the processes. At first, the cycle time or rather the total summation is needed. This means the summation of action and lay time. The next draw shows a summation of the action times. This describes the editing time within one process step. It is compounded by the summation of the adding value time and loss time. This is followed by the adding value time. This describes the period where an additional benefit for the customer is created. The whole right column catches also the summation. This is the same for the loss time, but the loss time describes the time where costs are created without the additional benefit for the customer. Finally, the lay period will be documented. All periods where the process is stopped because of waiting time are summarized at this point. The next step focuses on the deduction of the target concept. At first, it's important to identify the problems as good as possible to eliminate them. By the identification, a rating and a labeling is used. For example, a cross for problematic action and a hook for unproblematic actions and some other signs. Problems are eliminated by trial and error. The aim is to reduce processes to delete cut faces, and to use products to eliminate work steps. When all the steps are passed through, a new target state, or rather the Makigami process map, is done and the transformation will start. This state can look like this. Let's take a look at the example. This is the actual state of an order transaction process. The presentation of the analysis was made in Excel. The process is divided into 6 part processes with 5 protagonists. The part processes are paired: proposal management, acceptance of an order, creation of a shop order, preparatory work, fabrication and post calculation, creation of delivery ship, creation of the bill. The involved protagonists are the customer, the distribution, the engineering, the fabrication and the administrative accounting. You can see how many sub-steps of the part processes are connected with arrows. A clear path through the whole process is visible. This is an accurate documentation in every sub-step. Therefore, all available information is recorded. Only in the steps where the customer acts, most of the documentation is missing, because most of these processes are external and irrelevant for the company. The considered process starts and ends with the customer, or rather with his order and the receipt of the bill. On this example, you can see that the system behind Makigami analysis is fast, easy and intuitive to understand. But what are the advantages and disadvantages? This will be explained in the next chapter. The disadvantages became clear by illustrating more complex processes. This means processes where many people are involved that work, for example, on several tasks at the same time. The setting of the chart can be a disadvantage as well, because they could become confusing and unclear when the process is too complex. Furthermore, the analysis can be impractical if the processes have too many part processes that run parallel. Those processes are difficult to illustrate. Besides the mentioned disadvantages, there are some advantages. The Makigami analysis is intuitional, fast and easy to understand. No complex explanation is needed. This is an advantage, for example, in a big company. You can make the workers familiar with the processes even when it's not in their field of activity. So the workers get a deeper understanding of the different part processes. The analysis is quite flexible and very efficient, because no huge amount of time or expensive expenses and handling time is necessary. Moreover, the analysis is many-sided applicable. It can be suited for the excessive labor of already existing processes, but also for the development of a new process. It helps to optimize already existing processes, and it helps to show possible points of weaknesses on a new process. Those weakness points can be eliminated at the time when the new processes are planned. The visualization by the help of a whiteboard and some post-its is quite efficient, because, for example, the part processes can be written on post-its to make things clear and be easily stuck to some other place. Processes in the administration became transparent, and the employer gets a better overview about what the neighbor is doing with his information or with his work. In summary, the Makigami analysis is an instrument that can be used in a company without a huge amount of time, costs or handling time. It is very flexible and efficient. It is a great tool to show and eliminate weaknesses. Moreover, the given transparency has the potential to speed up the processes, because the workers are getting a better overview in their working environment. In summary, the Makigami analysis is an instrument that can be used in a company without a huge amount of time, costs and handling time.